everyone. Welcome to the A-Level Business Studies class. This is Module 2 of the lesson External Influences. We discussed about the various ways in which the government can put legal constraints on managing businesses effectively, on ensuring there is good competition and ensuring that there is healthy competition and healthy businesses being run. We discussed about consumer protection, the different consumer protection laws. Let's understand what is the impact of these consumer protection on the producers as well as the consumer. On the producers, definitely there is going to be a cost of goods that will go higher because now they will have to ensure quality, they will ensure that the workers are being paid well, being taken care of well, they will ensure that the quality of the good is up to mark where the government has prescribed it to, they will have to pay attention to the packaging that they are doing. So yes, the cost of goods is going to be higher. Supervision costs and quality control costs will also go up higher because they need to maintain the quality to a certain standard. This could lead to the change in the culture of the firm. Now the firm may become more consumer oriented than it was earlier. Impact on consumers is definitely a positive one. They would get higher protection and higher safety. Let's understand business competition. Why do we need competition in a market? Is it essential? Is it necessary? What if we don't have competition? Competition is extremely important. It matters because it gives wider consumer choices. It ensures you get lower pricing. Improvement of quality of products and services is ensured, and there could be better innovation and technology for sure. This definitely leads us to international competitiveness, which is an added advantage that the country may benefit in improving the economy. In a business competition world, you may see situations like a monopoly. Now, what's a monopoly? A market condition where there is only one dominant supplier and this supplier can set his own prices. This is definitely formed due to a merger or a takeover where small companies or small partners come together and form one major company or parent company which has the highest market share and then they rule the market. Anti-collusion laws have been passed by the government which prevent the creation of monopolies. They can prevent mergers, stop mergers, restrict mergers, and collusion if deemed problematic. How do monopolies form? Monopolies form by putting up higher barriers of entry to other new businesses who want to enter the market. They have a very high initial investment. They have legal protection, definitely. Mergers and takeovers happen and lead them to a situation of being monopoly. And innovation. Something different, something new leads them to getting the market share to the highest and capturing the market completely. What are the effects of a monopoly? There are going to be advantages and disadvantages as we know. The advantages is since it's a very huge business and they produce in bulk, there will be lower pricing. Higher investment in research and development is definitely going to benefit a lot many and give us the latest technology products. Disadvantages? Higher price setting. They may set a higher price for the consumers. Limited product choices. The monopoly may not want to give us a variety of products because they would make only one product. And this has destroyed the competition, destroyed the variety available to people. Inefficiency due to lack of competition. There is no one that you want to excel with and therefore you may lack the motivation to improve. Less investment in innovation due to lack of competition. Since there's no one to compete, you may not want to innovate anything new and you're already doing a lot of sales in terms of being the market leader. And no incentive to lower costs and increasing of efficiency. There is no motivation to move on further to increase the cost and gain efficiency in terms of reducing the pricing. Restrictive practices. The actions by the firms, often in collusion, to interfere with the free market and increase the pricing, thereby limiting the choice of the consumers, is known as a restrictive practice. It may be refusal to supply without higher payment. It may be full line forcing. Full line forcing is when you force the retailer to stock the whole range of products from the producer, not just the popular ones. It may also lead on to market sharing and price fixing and predatory pricing. These restrictive practices are definitely unhealthy because they put a lot of pressure and get people to succumb to their requests, which are definitely not fair. Let's understand technological influence. What has been the impact of technology? Information technology, it refers to the use of information technology to gather, store, process and communicate the information that they've collected. IT as we called it. Computer-aided designs, using computer models and ID to aid with the product or project designs. Computer-aided manufacturing, the use of computers, robotics, and high-end machinery to speed up the production process and make it flexible. These three inventions have changed the entire scenario of the economy and the production process. However, they have limitations. The cost of getting these computerized machineries or technology is extremely higher. The labor relations can come under stress because they might feel that they are at the loss of their jobs. Reliability is always the issue because the breakdown of one machinery may stop the entire production process. Data protection is problematic, and management will resist new technology because they may not have the expertise to handle that machinery, and they may also feel insecure with their jobs. How does it aid in decision making? Readily access the data. It helps you to access the data available at one go. It analyzes the data for quick results. Management information systems can improve communication. One email can be sent to thousands of people at one go. Project management tools allow for checking the exact progress of the project. So IT has definitely helped people and can help people to analyze things faster and better. There are problems, however. Sometimes there can be an overload of information. It's extremely centralized, and so there could be more abuse. And data protection could be a very big problem, and this could come under the fire as well. There are different IT terms that we need to know. Word processing, PageMaker and publishing tools, Photoshop, GIMP, image processing softwares. We have content management systems, we have databases, we have spreadsheet programs, computer-aided designs, and computer-aided manufacture. Let's understand one-on-one. A word processing. It helps you to analyze, it helps you to collate data, and create a structure. PageMaker and publishing tools ease out the problem of publishing at different levels and to multiple people and to multiple mediums. Photoshop image processing help you to better your images and present a very clear picture and a much more presentable picture to the audience. Content management systems deal with the entire management function. Databases help you to collect data and scan data at a very short span of time. Spreadsheet programs help you to handle multiple functions on a single spreadsheet. Computer-aided designs, they help you design new and innovative creations, machines, which may not be possible with the human hand. And computer-aided manufacture. Yes, computers can help you to multiply the production process by a huge number, which will help lowering the prices for sure. Introducing technology. How are we ready to introduce technology? We want to analyze, involve, evaluate, plan, monitor. And these all are the functions that IT aids us in. Definitely there's a social impact on firms with the IT coming in. There's an aging population who's not very comfortable with the IT. The changing role of women is very, very impactful here because it has changed the scenario. A better educated workforce is giving us a lot of changes because people are now educated and are ready to take on jobs which require skills. Early retirement. Early retirement does affect the working force definitely. The rising divorce rate again pushes the economy up because people are becoming individuals again and they want to take up jobs and earn and be independent. Globalization and job security. The world is becoming one huge place. What impact does the aging population have? The lower birth rate and the lower death rate as it's called. You have a larger retired population, smaller 0 to 16 years of people, and smaller number of active workers but large number of dependents. This reduces the gross domestic product of the country, thereby putting a lot of pressure on the workforce, and therefore people look at having later retirements and having more people in the workforce rather than having more dependents. What is the impact of an aging workforce? The impact of an aging workforce is the changing patterns of demand. The aging population has different needs than the younger ones. The products will need to focus on baby boomers, and less products for active and young population are required, so the demand changes. Age structure of the workforce will change. The young ones will get an entry, adoption of technology would be easier for the new generation of employees. Let's now discuss the pattern of employment. There are multiple factors which also which affect the pattern of employment that is there. The economy is now currently moving from labor intensive to capital intensive. So productivity is higher, but overall employment will fall. Certain factors like deindustrialization would cause transfer of labor from secondary to tertiary industries. There would be increase in women employment rate. There is increase in the part-time employment rate. Student employment rate has increased because students now want to work along with their jobs. Increase in temporary or flexible employment. People want more flexible jobs rather than the 9 to 5 that they were working. There's high pressure of health service and pension because of the aging population. Maternity leaves causing new dimensions is also a very important facet of the pattern of employment today. Women are working more and opting not to have children, thereby giving more weightage to the workforce and helping the workforce be a higher number. Multicultural work setup. It's not only one job that a person can do, a person can definitely do much more. There are a few environmental constraints that we need to look into. Corporate social responsibility, the first one, often abbreviated as the CSR. It's a corporation's initiatives to assess and take responsibility for the company's effects on environmental and social well-being. The term generally applies to efforts that go beyond and what may be required by regulators or environmental protection groups. Social audit. What's a social audit? An audit or a report on the impact a business has on society. This could include pollution levels, health and safety records, customer satisfaction, and environmental effects. Apart from the social audit, we have an environmental audit. This refers to an assessment to the extent to which an organization is observing practices which minimize harm to the environment. Now we should all think, why do we need to become environmental friendly? It helps in marketing, it has promotion advantages. It might qualify your company for grants and subsidies. You will now be on the good side of the law. There's an improvement in the quality of people seeking jobs and the long-term benefits that innovation can be introduced. However, being environmental friendly gives you a lot of advantages of gaining the goodwill and becoming the better company in the eyes of the consumer as well. Why not? Higher cost, lower profits, little chance of legal action as legal protection is very low in many countries, and economic development is more important than environmental responsibility are things that do come to our mind. But are we ready to sacrifice our entire goodwill for the higher cost or the lower profit that is short term? Do we really want to get into a legal action, or do we want to misuse the power because there is no legal action? And eventually, for our generations to come, is the economic development going to be more important than the environmental responsibility? Rather not. Let's understand the impact of the SA and the EA, as it's called, the social audit and the environmental audit. It's a non-binding audit. It could be used as a publicity stunt and smokescreen. It's time-consuming and expensive. So eventually, the social audit and the environmental audit, unless and until made compulsory, may not be able to deliver the results that we're looking at. Now we come on to a topic of pressure groups. What are pressure groups? They are organizations created with a common aim to put pressure on businesses or governments to change their policies until the objectives are reached. Examples of pressure groups would be the Greenpeace, the Fair Trade Foundation, the World Wildlife Federation, the Amnesty International, and the Jubilee 2000. The Jubilee 2000 is one which creates a campaign to reduce the debt of developing countries. All of these pressure groups work for different motives. They publicize through media coverage, they influence consumer behavior, and they lobby for the government. Pressure groups, yes, can create an impact if they have the support of the consumers, if they have the support of the people around them. The pressure groups sometimes do work to create an awareness and to benefit. The Wildlife Federation would work for the betterment of the wildlife. The Greenpeace works for having peaceful relations. The Jubilee works to reduce the debt of the developing countries. So pressure groups want to create a unanimous platform, and they have a common aim wherein they put pressure to change policies which are helpful to the countries. That's all about pressure groups. And that's all for today's class for external objectives. Thank you.